Hello, peeps. I'm gonna just go live on TikTok. Also, I'm doing a roundtable. So I've tagged a few friends. We are also in business together, and I thought that you would get some value. There's a lot of people who are looking for personal development, who are looking for more purpose, more enrichment in their lives. And a lot of times we forget about what we bring to the table. Each one of us have our own gifts. So if you're catching the live right now, please drop live. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching the replay, leave hashtag replay. You know the drill. I am going to, let's see here. So I'm going to add Judy here. I'm sending the invite. Waiting for Jen, and we are waiting for Jacqueline. So it is going to be a fun interactive live, you peeps.
Hi,
Okay.
how are you? Oh, let me take my glasses off. There's so much glare.
Hello. Yeah, we're just waiting for Jen, and there's Jen. I don't know if she goes by Jennifer. I should really ask. When you chat someone, you're like, I don't really actually know the proper way to address you. Hey,
Hey,
are you Jennifer or Jen?
I'm Jen.
Okay. I just want to make sure. And we're just waiting for, there she is, Jacqueline. I was going to go live on TikTok also while we're here.
I was going to do that too. I was going to do it on Instagram.
And I need more devices. Hey, Jacqueline.
Oh, me too.
Hello,
I need one more.
everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Can you guys
right,
hear me okay?
let me just turn this down.
Yep.
I'm having this issue when you're on your phone and you can't hear unless you have your earbuds in. So yeah,
Good. Oh,
I may
good.
switch to that. Hold on, let me just walk. So welcome everyone. If you're catching the live, drop live. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you are catching the replay, hashtag replay. I have some of my friends and business partners here. It's so exciting. We are actually in this. I mean, Boss Camp sounds kind of, like kitty-like, but I can tell you firsthand, there's nothing kitty about it. We have all developed in big ways. And so while it sounds like, oh, Boss Camp, like we're going in tents and telling ghost stories, we are not. We are making big strides in our business. And I think we have all learned a lot about ourselves and thought that we could give you all value. So did you want me to start with a question? You want to introduce yourselves?
I think we should all do a quick little intro. Yeah. That way we can kind of invite our people into our pages and also just kind of do like a who we are, right? Because we all have new viewers coming from all different platforms.
Yeah.
Go next. And you coming from Ottawa, Canada. Can you hear me, sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got Jacqueline coming in from Ottawa, Canada, and I am a busy entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur who's been in business for many, many years. But don't let that scare you when it comes to getting into the conversation of network marketing, because I was not a professional network marketer before this. It's the first opportunity that I stepped into, not even 12 months ago. And why I stepped into this opportunity, guys, is to show you exactly that if I can do this with having no experience, basically, online, and meeting women just like this, who we shook up a product, and through that product that changed my life, I thought I'm going to join the business so I can show people how to step into their greater power, for one. For two, on how they can, I'm an entrepreneur and have been for many years. I left that 9 to 5 years ago. But you as a customer, that's right, the ones that are watching us here, guys, don't let it scare you. You shake up the drink, we teach and guide you. That's why I joined the business. Yes. So I can show you that it's possible just by drinking this and sharing your story. That's the big impact. So that's my little story. To send up real short and quick. On to the next, y'all.
Jen, we'll go in alphabetical order. That way it's easy. Go ahead, Jen.
My name's Jen. I am from a small town in Pennsylvania. I am a mom of 2 boys. Parker is 12 and Andrew is 6. And I have 2 pit bulls, Zeus and Thor. I have been in this business for my 5-year anniversary is actually this month. And when I found the product, I was an exhausted mom. Like all I wanted to do was sleep. And I thought it was way too good to be true. I was a skeptic like so many people, and I had to try to find out for myself, and I fell in love, and 7 weeks later I joined the business because more of the community, like, yeah, I love the product, but the community was just like amazing to me. And here I am 5 years later, and I love every minute. It's awesome.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Judy.
My name is Judy. I live in the northern part of New Jersey. I think that Janine lives in the southern part, so I think we're on opposite ends. I am a wife. I've been married for almost 29 years. I have a 25-year-old and a 23-year-old daughter. My younger daughter moved out this past summer. I had originally.
You're muted.
Muted.
You're muted. Click that little microphone. Click that little microphone thingy. On mine, it's the bottom left, my microphone. I don't know if it's like that on yours.
Idea.
Yeah, okay. All right, she's gonna come off and come back on. So Jacqueline, we'll start. One of the questions that I think a lot of people would benefit from is why you specifically chose this business and team when there's so many different options out there.
So for me personally, why I chose this particular company for one and now team, I've known about the product for many, many years. Coming from health and wellness as part of who I am, I knew what ketones do to the body. But was I ready to jump in 7 years ago when it was introduced to me on a full-fledged? Absolutely not. I had a lot of things going on with my own life and business. But last year, why I chose, because I tracked and I measured and I did the research and I kept along the journey. But last year I raised my hand because I was on a panel. And when I was on a panel on mindset, our now leader, Jessie Lee Wood, was one of the panelists of speakers. But it's a no pitch zone. I had no idea it was network marketing. She was just letting off her fire and her energy and all the things. I'm like, who is this woman? So naturally, like most of our viewers, they find us either on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. So I went right onto that platform. I'm like, who is this woman here? I need to find out who she is, because that's exactly the 5 people you surround yourself with is who you become. Success, love, speed. That's moi. Okay? So I chose her as a leader in business and mentor and energy. When I realized that she was part of Prove It, game changer, Brian Underwood, thank you very much, and all the ones that I've followed for years, but she's the systems queen. All the systems are right here, y'all. I put everything into systems, so when you come on board with me, with us ladies, everything she said she was, that's exactly what you get, as long as your coach were willing and hungry. But I didn't actually come in directly underneath her. I came in from a fellow Canadian, not knowing what I didn't know in network marketing. I didn't study the business model yet. I was like, I'm coming in on her team. I needed more energy. I needed more focus. Joined in through the jump program. That's what I wanted. So I came in through a Canadian. But knowing that we're all on the same team, just like all of us. None of us are all on the same team. We're in the same organization, different direct, right?
Yeah.
But you can collaborate across the board. And that's why I chose Prove It as a company, Empire as a whole for the systems. Because there is no, you're better than me, he's better than her. We don't help this person. What I learned, I bring to the table. And that's why we're doing a round table. And thanks to Boss Camp, we all collaborate and make these things happen.
Yep.
So that's kind of why I did in a nutshell.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, it's basically the same for me was the community. I was with another company for like 6 months before this, and there was nothing. There was no training. There was no anything. And I was like, okay, I'm just not good at this. I'm not going to try again. Well, after I started drinking ketones, I can still remember the picture I saw. It was like the original 8, that they talk about, plus a couple other people. And they all had these huge smiles. I think they were like on their very first trip when they joined the company. And they all had different colored hair and they just all looked so happy. And I was like, that is what I want, you know? Like when you become a mom, you lose friendships and things because like life just gets busy. And I was like alone. I didn't have friends anymore or anything like that. And I was like, this is what I want to be a part of. And then I went to an event. It was probably 3 months after I joined. And the first time I heard our CEO speak, I knew I was exactly where I wanted to be because I've always been passionate about health and wellness and like inspiring people to get healthy. And I just knew from that moment, like, this is it. I don't ever want to do anything else.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Welcome back, Judy. Go ahead.
I don't know
Did you
what
hear the
happened.
question? I don't
No,
know
I
if you heard
didn't.
So with all the options of businesses and teams, what attracted you to this business and this team?
I had originally met my upline, Amanda, on a plane 4 years ago now. And I sent her a friend request and she sent me some videos and stuff. And I was like, oh, these people are a little crazy. And I was like, I didn't want to, whatever. And so last year I had a couple of health issues. And during COVID, I went into menopause and I gained some weight and then I was having health issues. So I was like, I got to get myself back on track. And then I started watching reels and it was a lot of people. I didn't realize at the time that were all in this group. So I had sent somebody a message about the recipes and, they're like, oh, if you want the recipes, whatever. So I'm like, I want the recipes. I'm going to try keto. And they're like, oh, well, you're under Amanda. Like you have to talk to her. And I was like, oh, I don't want to talk. Like they're crazy. I think they're a little crazy. Like she sent me a video and Jessie Lee had blue hair and she was, it was Jessie Lee. But at the time I was like, I can't,
Too
no,
loud.
that's not
Too
right,
loud
too
for
much.
you.
It's too much. So then I was like, oh, Lord, they got me again. So then I was messaging with Amanda and I'm like, okay, I'll try the trial. And when I got it, I was like, oh, I really like, because, it doesn't taste like that powdery protein,
No.
whatever. It's really good. And then immediately I started losing weight. And so I bought some stuff from her. And then I was like, watching her stories and seeing like all the strides that she made over the 3 years that I hadn't, spoken to her from when I met her. And I started seeing everybody else's stuff. And I was like, I mean, the product works great. And it seemed to be a good opportunity aside from the fact that it really does do what it advertises basically.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to be involved in something like smarmy, like, oh, I'm just, I'm out here selling stuff just for the money. But I really believe in the product. I mean, I use it every day. My kids are using it. My nieces are using it. So I was like, you know what? I'm in.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And because you said about the crazy, it like leads me into my next question, which, what was your hesitation before joining? Judy, I just want to go off the back of what you were saying.
I mean, network marketing always had like the pyramid scheme. And years ago, my sister got me involved in this, like one of those travel companies. So we did it and we got some people under us. And then all of a sudden it was like the company was going bankrupt or something and you had to like reapply, but they were going to keep all your people and you had to start over. And so we were like, okay, and it was a long time ago. But then as soon as I found out, like I said, 3 years ago that it was something like that, I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting involved.
Not interested.
Right. Because, there are some places that are a little still to this day, very sketchy and you don't want to get your money and everything and your time involved and then have people, you're basically trading on your name or reputation or, you're dealing with your friends and your family and this and that, and you don't want to be put in a position where, you're right back into a bad situation. So, I checked into it and I could see that it was really a good opportunity and they were doing what they say they were doing and the product was doing what they say it was doing. And also because it's not like one of those things where you don't have anything tangible for what you're paying. Like I said to my husband, like legitimately, even if it doesn't work after I bought the Max kit, I'm like, I still got the kit. Like I still have
get to drink the product,
I'm still gonna
right?
use the stuff. So like either way, I'm good because I needed it regardless. So, but unfortunately, it's working out.
Awesome.
So that hesitation has been alleviated.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For this company, I mean, like I said, but like this is especially this particular group because, and I talked a little bit about this in our training this morning because they do not have to extend themselves the way that they do to teach you business, to train you, to teach you all the tips and tricks that they give us. so that we can succeed. Because ultimately, like I said, we've already bought the kits and we've already done the things, and it's, you know, they're still okay. You know what I mean? But they want us to be okay, and they want the next person to be okay, and they want not just to be okay here. They want to teach you how to take your money and like save it and invest it and do all the things. Nobody teaches you that. Not even people who pay to work for them 40 hours a week. They barely train you to do the job they pay you for. And then if you don't know how to do it, you're always in trouble. So, you know, it's just a completely different environment. I said to somebody not too long ago, I'm 55, and I mean, I've had a lot of jobs. I've never had anybody mentor me like this. And again, these are people that were paying me to do the job. There were so many times where you have people that you work for, and I feel like I'm monopolizing all the time, but I think you guys will agree. Like, you have people that you work for that if you succeed a little bit too much, then they're threatened and they want to hold you back. So there's really none of that here. Everybody wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me here.
I agree. Jacqueline, go ahead.
Why don't we get you to speak, girl? We haven't heard much from you. Let's get going. Let's hear you. What you got saying, girl? I think it's important that all of our audience get to hear a little bit about everybody, right?
Right.
Not to put you on the spot.
I feel like, I mean, a lot of the same things with the team. I was talking to someone today. I met them for lunch, and you know, they knew of Prove It. They knew of, you know, our mentor, and I just feel like there's just so much integrity in this business. This isn't a typical like get rich scheme. It's personal development. And so I chose this team because I knew there was no BS, there's no fluff, and you learn how to be a better person. You know, it's always said that, you know, what type of person do you have to be to earn money, to get over your money blocks, to serve, to be a servant leader. The servant leader sounds really pretty, but what does that really mean?
Yeah.
It means that in our boss camp, like, I had to review people's content, and it took away from my business. But I know that giving to others, everyone succeeds. It's not like, oh, I'm not going to share that because I want to win. We all win. We're more powerful together. And other companies I've been in, it's not that way. It's very cutthroat. So
selfish.
Yeah, very selfish. So I find a lot of joy in here, and I also feel that I've had to level up as a person. If I want to earn people's time, if I want to earn a certain amount of money, I have to do a certain amount of work on myself. And it's not about putting up a flyer and buying a ketone. It's not about join me in business, like let's build this leg, or that's craziness. It's about building a foundation so that we can actually make impact. And that's what I think most of us are after. We can get a job if we want money. This is making impact. So that's why I joined.
You know, it's funny what you said about build a leg. It just triggered something for me. I have a friend who was in one of those travel club type of things, and I remember talking to them about, and she was saying about how you build this leg and this leg and this leg. You're not. It was like something like you're not going to make money off of this, and I'm like, I've never literally heard that here before. Like, nobody talks about building a leg or whatever. They're just like, you know, this is what you do to like build your team and like spread the word and help other people. And you're right. They talk so much here about being a servant leader and about helping the next person and just trying to do things with an open heart. And then, you know, just from there, you're going to succeed just because, you know, good things come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, one of the things quickly, I'll just kind of mention, kind of back off of the whole community coming together. And one of the reasons why, and what I gained from this particular organization, many years ago, I had a restaurant, a health and wellness center. And in the evening time, in the downtime, when they were training in the back, and the restaurant was a little bit on the slow side, I rented out the front bay, 1,500 square feet, to a network marketing company, right? And what they would do, Amway, if y'all remember back in the day, we're going like 20 years here now, right? What they would do is the leader, who was very successful here in Canada, I got to know him very well, and just for the storytelling, he was very big on storytelling, right? It wasn't about selling, it's storytelling, changing lives. So let's say Monday, they would come together, their team, and they would role play, and they would train, they would do all the things. And I said, as long as you buy a coffee and a muffin, I'm good. I'm about community here, right? Because not only am I bringing people in, I'm sharing the story of wealth. Because of my center, I have a restaurant, but I also have a martial arts studio in the back where we do workshops, personal development and mindset. So I'm bringing in community, but I'm also learning. because there's so much negativity out there in and around the multi-level marketing, if you will. And I had a different impression. I was never part of it, but I got to experience that for almost a year. 2 days a week, they were in my shop. Then one of the days, they would bring their leads, as they would call prospects. And they would just workshop and talk. And it was just like having coffee dates. Everybody was just mingling, having fun, doing their thing, music slightly playing. And I'm like, that's the kind of community that I always gravitated towards in this space. So over the years, I ran into a lot of people because I'm I call myself a professional network marketer within my business because I'm out there meeting people, not necessarily selling a product. I'm selling my own product, my own company that I built from the ground up. But at the end of the day, I met so many different ones, and I get different horror stories from this one. Oh, they don't train you here, they don't teach you that. And I came in with 20 years ago of this amazing leader, which reminds me very much of Jessie Ward, who just pours and pours and pours and pours, because it wasn't necessarily about what he was going to get out of it. It's how can he show what's possible? Yeah. What can he do? And he had the very similar story that he would pull up and park his car in the back, y'all. He had a rusted old, busted up old car. He dressed the part, but he didn't necessarily have the financial wealth that he really wanted because he kept pouring into all the training, the teaming, bringing speakers in. So with that to be said, when I knew that it was time to jump in, to Brian Underwood, the stories and everything that he gives from 7 years ago, I knew that when the time came, because they're all about personal development. And if y'all are not following personal development, jump in to any one of our pages here, connect with us. Let's tap you into how you can step into your greater power. Because one thing that this organization does, 100% education first, personal development first. We become the product of the product. Yeah. Once you step into that leadership, and the leadership becomes something as simple as this, putting this in your story, that's leading. That's sharing something. Jumping on a live. If you're afraid, jump on a table live. Let somebody else do the talking and just be present. Show your face. It starts with that little bit, right? Because it's at the end of the day, it's 1% better every day. That baby step that it takes. So one of the reasons to sum it all up, 100% authentic. It allows me to be exactly who I am, the way that I am. I don't have to put on a show. I don't have to do anything. I can just be 100% real because that's what they're buying into the people. When I say buy, it's my story. They see that I've been able to transform in 12 months. I have transformed. I've had a lot of personal development. It's part of what my business does. But the level of training that I've been getting, the high level, even beyond, now that I'm in the circle of it, game changer. Game changer. And my viewers see that, right? They're seeing the growth. They thought I was inspiring and powerful before. Oh, I'm coming in hot at times, right? I have to pull it back sometimes so that my red and my yellow, I have to get a little blue and green in there, hence the systems, right? Why I joined this organization. I knew that if I was coming in, I wanted the real deal so that I could be the product and show them that I knew absolutely nothing, but I got it now because I'm coachable and I'm hungry. And each one of you guys are too. That's why we're on this table here. We're in Boss Camp. It's an amazing, amazing opportunity. Just got to raise your hand. And that's what I did. That's what I did, right?
I love that. I love what the color personalities. If you guys watching don't know what color personality, you normally have a dominant and a secondary. Drop personality and we'll send you, whoever you're connected to will send you the link to find out which you are. It's very important to know because it explains a lot about why you do things, how you do things, and how you communicate and relate to others. So that definitely drop that below if you want to know. And I was going to ask Jacqueline about personal development. So you definitely just you hit on all of that. I was going to say, how does this help you personally develop? But you've definitely answered that.
Oh, it's helped me tremendously. And you know what? It's really brought out a lot of the things because always, and let's get back to the basics because that's what life is about, right? The basic fundamentals. Sometimes we layer and we layer and we layer and we layer and we layer. When it's not necessary, we got to get back to simplicity, right? What are the 3 things that you're going to do today, if not one? And keep to it. Set the goal of just 1% better every day. So through this personal development and being able to, as I call it, I came in with a lot of knowledge and experience. I came in as a student last year, 110%. Everything I knew, I stripped it down and I said, close your ear, listen, learn, take notes. Be a listener, be a student, take action. Because if I don't do that, I'm not going to grow. And by doing that, it brought me back to the basics again. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. So pulling out old books, journals that I had, right? And saying, you know what? Yes, that's how I got to that milestone. milestone in my life. That's how I got to that. So with the empire as a whole, every day we're taught that. Every live training that we have, and we have it twice a day, guys, it starts off with the training. And within the
Yep.
boss camp, we start off with the words of affirmation.
Mhm.
There's a podcast, it's personal development. You have no choice but to start your day on top of the world, just like as I call it, I see the light. When I see the light, that's like the sun, right? That's like the gateway to my happiness and joy. So if I start my day like that and I end it that way, the sky is the limit,
Right.
you know? The sky is the limit.
And we're whole people. A lot of people who start these businesses, they forget everything that they are, and they just, buy my thing, join my team, buy my thing. And the more you do it, like people say, I'm not a sale, I don't know sales. Thank God. I mean, I'm not saying this is, I mean, I'm not lying.
Right.
We're selling something, I'm not saying we're not selling something, but it's not, you want to buy my thing? How about now? You want to look at it? Do you want to look at it now? I mean, it's not that. It's about
We're not chasing
sharing.
them.
No,
we're not chasing.
We're attracting
Mm-hmm.
because we're showing all of who we are. So anyway, I don't want to go on and on. I think, Jen, you're next. Why don't you share some personal development you've had from being here?
Oh my gosh, I'm like a completely different person. I used to be like really like awkward. Like I'm still kind of awkward in person, I guess. Just because I don't really see people a lot. I have a job, but I don't really see people there either at the same like two all the time. But like I was always terrified to go live. I would get hives and like my voice would shake and I would just be so scared. And I would do it once and then I wouldn't do it again for like 3 months because I was just so scared. But just having a negative mindset, I was like super negative all the time and I would let things like set me off and then it would affect me for like days. And now it's like I catch myself, I flip it, I'm like, this is not going to ruin my day. I'm staying positive and waking up and having gratitude and like, no, I'm not where I want to be yet, but like being grateful for where I am and journey and I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. And it's just my mind has like evolved so much and it just keeps going. Like Jacqueline was saying, like we start with those affirmations and like I listen to them on my way to work in the car and I like scream them and it just like puts you in this mood like that you can't be mad. Like there's no way that you're gonna have a bad day if you're listening to stuff like that. And it's just been everything for me. Like that's my priority every day. I meditate, I work out, I listen to a podcast and I journal and I read. And that is like not negotiable because I know how it affects me when I don't do it and that I can go right down that negative rabbit hole again if I don't stay on top of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now look at you. You're a pro.
Oh, for sure. She's that better. We are living from her. She's got the 5-year
I don't care what I look like. I'll hit that live button no matter what. I'm like, whatever. They want to hear what I have to say. I don't care what I look like.
That is awesome.
I love that.
How about you, Judy?
I've been in that. I was like at a point in my, you know what happened when my daughter moved out? I took it personal because I was like, we just moved into this house 3 years ago. Now, mind you, my kids were adults, but we bought a bigger house and whatever. And I was like, why? Like in my head, I'm like, why would you want to move out? Like I'm a great mother. Why would you leave me? I mean, I cried. I was like not talking to anybody. I was mad and I was like, you know what? It was more so I really came to realize that I get emotional. Like I've been so long taking care of them. I'm like, well, what am I going to do with myself now? And I had just really started this business and she and I were both using ketones and we were both losing weight and, we were doing the thing together. And she just came home one day and she was like, I'm moving out. And I was like, no, you're not. And like, but it was on the 4th of July. So I was like, okay, well, at least I have a month. But I did not. She found some place that she had some deal with the security that you could move in like the next week. And within a week, she was gone. So I was like distraught. And I really had to take a step back and say like, what, like what is going on that is like killing you like that? But it's like, I'm a mother. Like, that's what I do. Like I work, I have a husband, I have 3 dogs. You know what I'm saying? I was doing this at the time and I'm taking a life coaching certification class. So it's not like I didn't have things to do, but just in my head, like my primary responsibility is to take care of these kids. So like, how dare you leave me with nothing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that to me? And I was like, well, I don't understand. Like, it was a whole personal diatribe that I had going on in my head, that she just thought I was a bad mother and she had to leave. And that's not the case. You know what I mean? She's not, that's not why, like, she's an adult and she has a really good job, and she's really thriving. So it's fine that she wanted to go, but it just really like took me out. So I had to like regroup and like figure out, like, you need to be able to like get yourself together without raising kids. So like, it's like part of an empty nester thing. And just also because I don't really like my full-time job. And I think that like I was always so focused on, like, my husband used to travel a lot for work when my kids were little. So I was always home, and like he's got a great job now. He's good in his career, and my younger daughter has a great job, and my other daughter had just graduated from culinary school. So I'm like, I realize, like, I have everybody set. They're all good. It's time for me.
Yeah.
So I have to do
That's
my little
amazing.
mindset shifting. And honestly, the life coaching certification that I'm taking, I'm learning a lot through that about myself as well. So it's been a really good experience for me. So I'm just trying to chug along and keep it positive, and move ahead and just really kind of remake my life. Because before, when it was just me and my husband, we were perfectly fine. Obviously not because I wanted kids, but I'm saying, like, we have a great relationship. So why, like, it's not going to kill me for it just to be me and him, so good.
Yeah. It's just a change. And that's why that's why I said about the business, like, we come back to ourselves. We find out who we are. Like, I traded my dream for my salary and for my 401k and for my,
Right.
but who am I outside of a corporate America? I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
And they can fire me tomorrow.
Right.
So like, what do I do? What do I want to do with my life? I'm a whole person. So
Yeah.
Can
You forget
we
that.
quickly just touch base for our
You
viewers?
forget that.
Can we just quickly touch base for our viewers? Because with ones that have full-time jobs, right? Like, how if you have people saying, listen, y'all, how are you guys doing this, right? I've been able to perfect my time blocking and management because I've been doing entrepreneur for a long time, right? So it makes it a little more difficult because if I don't want to work today, I don't have to work, right? There's a difference in that. Now, when you have a job where you're clocking in the 9 to 5, let's talk a little bit about, so viewers can see, well, how does one do that? How do you fit that in?
It's not easy because it is in the beginning they're like, oh, you can just do this an hour a day and you just put your stuff up and I'm like, no, it's not an hour a day. So it's you really do have to manage your time and just like get everything structured. Like, you have to get it down to, this is what I have to do in the morning, this is what I have to do at night, this is what I have to do on certain days of the week. And you have to make sure, like, even as far as getting your supplies, like, I'm patiently waiting for my Mitoplex to get here because I haven't had it in like 2 weeks. But that's because it was Christmas and I went to Epic last month and it got, everything. And I was like, oh, I don't have any more Mitoplex.
So
like,
the matter
so
really just working it into the cracks of your day.
Yeah.
So it's working it into the cracks of your day. So you have to time block yourself, right?
Right. And honestly, obviously I guess we're all hoping this is what you're going to do full time, but until I get there,
There's no doubt about it there. There's no doubt about it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until you get there, it's a struggle, but you could struggle for yourself or you could struggle for somebody else's company and just get your check and they're making the money. Ultimately, that's what you do.
That's your
Let's
see somebody else's perspective as well.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty lucky. My job, I can work this as much as I want. And I was working like over 40 hours a week, but my bosses were always super cool. And it was like, I'd get my work done and then they didn't care what I did. So I could like be on my phone the entire day. They didn't care. Well, after COVID, I took off 2 or 3 months because I had kids and they were out of school, obviously. And like my business like was booming after that time off. So I didn't want to completely give up that income because I can work this there. And they had found another girl for the office. So there was going to be me and somebody else. So it's not like I was taking on the whole thing. So I just went back 3 days a week. So now I just work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But I mean, it is working it in the cracks of your day. And like she said, you
Mhm.
have to like figure out exactly what you need to get done. You need to set timers so you can stay
Yes.
focused, because it's so easy to get lost, like just scrolling. And then like before you know it, an hour's gone by and you're like, I didn't do a single thing that I needed to get done.
Mhm.
So the timers have been like a game changer for me, because I can easily get lost, especially on TikTok, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So setting timers is good. But like the time blocking, like she was saying, and just like figuring out your schedule, like what I need to do, batching content. If you're somebody that needs
Yes.
to do that, I'm more like a at the moment poster. I don't really like plan ahead for mine, but if that's something that you need to do, if it takes you a long time to come up with a post or something, then batching content is another good thing, and setting a day of the week to do that. But I mean, it's possible for anybody, because like if you look around our team, there were people that were like nurses working a million hours a week that were able to quit their jobs. Like,
Mhm.
so it's possible for anybody. If you want it bad enough, then you'll figure out how to make it happen.
I think that's key right
Exactly. Yeah.
there. That's key right there. If you want it bad enough and you're hungry enough for the change,
That's it.
you got to be willing to give something up in order to fit something
Mm-hmm.
else in, for sure. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
Yep.
Yep.
I agree. I do like I send people video messages for their birthday, and today someone's like, no one has ever done that. Like, thank you for taking out like 10 seconds of your day. And I thought, like, I have the things like I work from 7:30 to 4:30, and at 7 a.m. when I wake up, that's the first thing I do. I send the birthday messages because it actually gives me joy that and that's,
Hmm.
that's a business activity because it's
Customer
communicating.
service. Yeah,
Yes.
customer service is important.
Exactly. And people don't realize that. And it's knowing what you need to do. Like, I know I have to do a certain amount of things every single day. And it doesn't matter when I do it. I know that I go live every night at 8 p.m. because I want people to know that that's where they can find me. I can give value about holistic remedies. I can give value, whatever it is. I'm sure you all have
Yeah.
your schedules and what you give. But, it doesn't work, but they don't show up and nobody knows what they're doing. So how could anyone trust you or like you or buy into you or invest in you if you're not showing up?
Yep.
So yeah, corporate America is hard and time blocking could be challenging, but I'd much rather do this, 100 hours a week
Yep.
Yes.
than work a corporate job. So
Yep. Me too.
yeah.
And I'll just tap in real quick because some people may be thinking too, and I get this question a lot, and I think it's important that we chat about it real quickly. We could take like maybe 60 seconds each. A lot of people say, but you know what? You have a brand. Jackie, you've been your brand for a long time. Health and wellness, fitness, nutrition, movement, mindset. That's been your brand. I can't do that. I don't have a brand. Let's talk a little bit about the workshop, the branding workshop, and how it's been able to help anybody that's within less than a year in this business on how they've been able to really step into who they are. Because I think that's super important. There's a lot of viewers that like, you know what, that watch my page. I can't do that, but I work with them very closely on how they can. So let's talk about that real quick.
Sure. You want to go,
So,
Jen?
yeah. So you really, especially if it depends on who you're attracting, really. But if, like, I personally attract women over 40, most of them are mothers, and I had lost myself too. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was a mom. Everything I did revolved around being a mom, taking care of my family. And I had to make that list. Like, who was I before that? Like, what did
Mm-hmm.
I love when I was younger and enjoy doing? And it actually came back to health fitness because, like, that's just something I've always been into. But everybody has a brand. Like, everybody has the things that they love and are able to find people that love those things too. I don't care how weird you think it is. Like, there are other
Yes.
people out there that are into the same things you are. Like, I don't even have examples because I don't want to offend anybody by saying that thinking something's weird, but like, if you like to knit, not that that's weird, then there are knitting groups. If you like to raise chickens, like, there are chicken groups. Like, you can find people that love the same things that you do, and like, those are your people. Like, everybody has a brand, and I think it's once it's explained, then it's easier to figure out. Like, when it's explained how, like, what that actually means, that that's just who you are and what you love, that it's easier for people to figure that out. But like, everybody has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of tap in there, with me being ADHD and dyslexia, I just want to let everybody know, not everything has to be like this in a book. I format it in a book, so I put checklists on things, but everything is also video, y'all. You have the video training,
Mhm.
you have the live training, and you have the text, y'all. So if you're one that doesn't like the sound of my voice, read the book. If you
Yep.
can't read the book because of my spelling mistakes, as y'all know, watch my video.
Yep.
And it's the same way in the trainings are like that. And that's what I love best. It touches all personalities, all learning styles, and all levels of style.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Judy. We were talking about brands. If someone doesn't know what their brand is, how did you finding out what your brand was?
I think I did the branding workshop
Yeah,
on the board.
that's what I wanted us to talk about, a little bit about how the branding workshop helped you, that the systems that we have. Yes,
It really did help me because I wasn't thinking of like, what's my brand? I was just in the beginning thinking, okay, I'm going to sell the ketones. And then, but but like I said, I am also becoming a certified life coach. So I wanted to incorporate that. And when I went through the thing, like that's one of the things. And also like, I'm a mom and I'm like half of an empty nester. And like, I've always like taking care of my nieces because I'm the youngest of 7. So most of my family members had kids before me. And I also had fertility issues. So I didn't have my first baby until I was 30. My nieces and nephews were like grown by that point. Like my two oldest nieces and nephews are 39. So like they're, like 15 years older than my oldest. So, and like honestly, I just love to talk and I have an opinion about everything. And and usually I'm right. So I'm gonna let you know.
I love that.
I have to tone down my hello. If you would just listen to me, you would, you wouldn't have this problem because like you can't be.
Oh, I hear you, girl. I hear you on that.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm a Jersey girl. And I'm like, listen, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so those are the things that I'm focused on. And the funny thing was too, I would get so nervous to do lives and do videos and stuff. And Amanda, who's my upline, like in the beginning, she was like really pushing me. And I was like, what is wrong with, like, leave me alone. And
You get a bit of taste of your own, right? I love Amanda.
Literally
Fire.
like, she goes, I normally don't do this, but I'm going to give you like a little private training. So we had a Zoom call and she was like, I saw you doing a live, like cooking with your daughter. And she was like, I'm like, oh my God, this girl has got something. Like people are going to want to listen to her. She's like, but you got to get it together. Like you need to be on schedule and do your lives and I'm like, I know, but it's hard. I'm like, hello, I'm busy. She's like, yeah, you should be busy getting this together so you can make your money.
Yeah.
But
nothing good in life comes easy, right? We know that, right?
I
Nothing good
know.
in life comes easy. We got to work towards it, right?
That's
We
for
get
sure.
stronger, it gets easier.
That's
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm surely not winning the lottery anytime soon, apparently. So here we are.
Well, and these skills are things that you can do with everything. I mean, that's what I was going to say about brand. Like, I think people get confused because it's really who we
Right.
are.
Yeah.
It's not a brand. It's who we are as a person. Like, I just think when people click that enroll into the business, they turn into like bots.
Mhm.
Like buy my thing. Like they get really freaking weird, and I was guilty of it too. And it's like come back
Well,
to
yeah,
yourself.
because in the beginning, that's all you know how to do. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I bought this. I have to sell it.
Exactly.
And you're
Buy
so
this stuff. It's really good.
excited and you just want to tell everybody like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you need ketos, oh my
Well,
God. And we're like, freak
especially
out,
when
all
if
go
you're on
crazy.
like a fat loss journey, right? When I came in for focus, mental clarity, and sure, I could shed a bit of fat for sure. So for me, when it lit up my brain, I was, oh my God, I gotta tell where have they been? Like, where have you been? I was right in the middle of, no joke, booked the appointment here in Canada. We have good healthcare, but I was like, no, I need the answers now. So I paid out of pocket. I went to the best ADHD, early onset dementia doctor. I wanted to know why I couldn't remember when I walked into a room. What was going on? I'd be in mid-sentence, and I'm like, can't remember. I'm like, well, that thing there, that thing, your phone, this, that, it's a charger. I could not remember words. It was just slipping away. So I started to stress and worry. Healthcare is my background. Nursing with onset dementia is what I love to specialize in. I'm like, I'm feeling all the signs. No. Take a deep breath, y'all. Take a deep breath. Get the appointment. Start working on my health. Time to get these in here. Brain function, ketones, right? Immediately, I started shouting to the world, get these in your hand, get these in your hand, get these in your hand. Every ADHD and dementia, ADHD or ADD, right away they grabbed it because they trust me in my story. It's the story. It had nothing to do with me just ketones. Because I've very openly talked about where my struggles been my entire life. I never did that. So all of a sudden, this year, I'm like, I can remember, I can focus. I'm not jumping all over the place. Right?
Yeah.
So
Quality of life.
at the beginning, it feels like that, right? It really, really does. When you start learning on how to slow down the roll and just enjoy and sit into the pocket, and you start talking about how you've been able to get up out of the bed on time. No longer hitting the snooze button, not eating your arm off all night because you're going all day. Then it's time to sit down and watch maybe TV or spend time with your husband, and you used to eat the entire fridge all night. But not anymore. Because you're getting that appetite suppressant, you get the cool mind, you're getting the mental clarity function, and you're getting the love for self most of all. So when I started to learn to just slow my roll and start to talk that, which is truly who I am, that's really when my brand also started to change. Because your brand will change. In 12 months, my brand has changed 3 times.
Yeah.
Because of just tapping into the trainings, right?
Yeah.
That's for sure. So do you want to just do a quick, I mean, we've been on for a bit now, so you want to do a quick, like, one, either a benefit of the I mean, you've already said a benefit of the product, a benefit
For
of the
me,
business.
yes.
You want to just wrap it up? I mean, you could, so if anyone viewing wants information, just drop biz and we'll get in touch with you. But maybe just like I mean, standards is our word. Raising standards is our word for 2023, but maybe just something in closing, if you want to say something, Jen.
I don't know. Caught me off guard. I would say this is the place where you can come and like never have to worry about people judging you. Like
100%.
we all have different backgrounds, like anything you can think of. There are people that have gone through different traumas and things on this team, and that's another thing that really drew me in because like you don't have to pretend to like we love you for exactly who you are. If you just want to make $100 a month, we will help you do that. If you want to make way more than that, we can help you do that as well. You can just come here as you are, and we love you where you are, and we will help you to reach your goals. And the community is just everything. Like if you don't love yourself, you will once you get surrounded with all of us, because like that's one of the best things about it is we just love everybody and we love you for who you are. And I know a lot of people don't have that in their lives.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that too. I would think that if anybody, I'm an empty nester too. My 2 stepboys are long gone, moved out long time ago. I would say if anybody's looking for a bit of a foundation, right? Where do I begin? Where do I start? Who am I? You know, I'm looking maybe to your 3rd or 4th career in your life. You know what? I'm tired of making change. You know what? You don't have to make change. You just have to lean in. And when you lean in to what the foundation is, as to what really brings you joy, send each and every one of us a message, whoever it is. Just have a conversation. That's where it starts. You don't have to just cha-ching by to talk.
Right.
I talk to people every day, all day, about what is that one thing that they're missing in their life. Let's start with one. Don't worry about the rest, right? If they don't have the foundation is raising the hand first and having the conversation. So I would say that. If that's anything I can leave you guys with, is do not be afraid. Fear and excitement are the exact same emotion. So if you feel fearful, I tell my customers, my friends, my people, if you start to get anxiety, I want you to jump up. When you do that, honestly, for 15 seconds, I guarantee you get happy. Because then you start to laugh at yourself. What am I doing? That's right. I feel good. Now hit the button, send it to Jackie, send it to Jen, This message, right? That's all it takes. That's what I got for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I just wanted to end with, you know, when we're talking about standards, just about what you want for your life. Like, I would think about myself, is this what I want? Is corporate America what I want for my life? It's so unfulfilling. I'm grateful because it's paying my rent, but it's not what I want. So if there's something like Jacqueline was saying that is missing, if you feel like you want more, you want more for life. You just don't want to pay your bills, come home, go to bed, do the same thing. This adds so much enrichment to your life. I can't say enough about it. I think it's personal development is
100%.
one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Drop us a message, whatever you want to do. We're the door is open. The inbox is open. We're here for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys on a private training tonight. Thank you all
Okay.
for watching.
Have
Ciao, ciao.
a good night.
Good night.